So Warzone Mobile might have just released their most controversial update yet. What's up guys, Jaboosle here, and we're back with another Warzone Mobile video, and we're going to be covering some of the uproar from the community for Warzone Mobile after this latest update. If you guys didn't know, I actually made a community post talking a little bit about some of it. They went ahead and basically restricted all devices to a 30 FPS lock. So if you were previously playing Warzone Mobile on an iPad Pro or like an iPhone or even a super high-end Android, you can no longer play with those higher frame rates anymore. It is now locked to 30 FPS for everyone. And supposedly they did this because they wanted to test some things. But if you look a little bit deeper into it and you look at some of the other complaints that people have been talking about when it comes to this update, then their reason for doing this actually doesn't make that much sense. So basically what happened is this update came out and people started to report that the Android version in particular of Warzone Mobile seems worse now than it did in the last update. And as many of you will already know, the Android version was already regarded as being worse than the iOS version when it came to optimization and when it came to the graphics. And now it seems like they've made the Android version even worse with this new update. Now this image right here has been going kind of viral in the Warzone Mobile communities over on Twitter, and as you guys can see, it is in-game screenshots from the character selection screen, and one of them is on Android and one of them is on iOS. The iOS version one looks completely better than the Android version. The Android one just lacks a bunch of fidelity, it lacks those visual effects, anti-aliasing, things like that. It just looks like a PS2 game versus the iOS version, which is very clearly more detailed, it's sharper, and overall it just looks a lot better. And this is not limited to just like the characters or anything like that. As you guys can see here in this image, if you actually zoom in and look at particular spots around the map, it looks horrible. This is from an Android device, and as you guys can see, it looks really bad. I don't know what happened when it came to this update, but right now the graphics just look really rough on Android, and on iOS it's not really that much better either. It's not that it got necessarily worse or anything, but remember, they did cap that frame rate to 30 FPS. So overall, the experience of playing Warzone Mobile right now is actually worse than it was in the last few updates. And this just feels like a huge step back because in the last few updates, they actually made the graphics a little bit better, especially in the iOS version. You had a ton of Warzone Mobile content creators making videos and posting screenshots of how the game actually looked a lot better, looked a lot cleaner and stuff. And now they released this update, and not only does it look worse visually, but on top of that, they've also sacrificed our frame rate. I've also been getting a ton of comments from you guys in my Warzone Mobile videos, basically talking about how you guys are now experiencing even worse performance with this latest update, which really doesn't make that much sense. I mean, you would think that if they made the game look worse, then it would probably perform better. But instead, they not only made the game look worse, but now a lot more people are reporting optimization issues when it comes to playing this game. I really don't know what happened with this update. It feels like they took a bunch of steps forward with the last few updates, and then this one was just a huge step back. Now, on the topic of the 30 FPS lock and why they did it, of course, they mentioned that it was for testing and that they were going to go ahead and do some optimization and stuff like that. I think the real reason why they did it is because this update completely broke performance, and I think that they realized that there might be some kind of outcry if even high-end devices weren't able to maintain a steady 60 FPS in Warzone Mobile. I think more likely than not, they probably tested some of the performance on higher-end devices and saw that they could not maintain 60 FPS, and instead the frame rate would be dropping to the low 30s or 40s and stuff like that, and that it was just so inconsistent that they didn't want to put that out there. So instead, they just locked it for 30 FPS for absolutely everybody. That way, you don't actually see how bad the game is performing on higher end devices when it comes to playing past that 30 FPS mark. So things are kind of crazy right now for Warzone Mobile. We don't really know what's going on when it comes to the optimization. We were told that it would get better as time has gone on, but obviously with this latest update, that is not true. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Do you guys really think this game is going to be ready by the end of 2023? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, but as always, thank you for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.